My name is Brenda Kelly, and I work as a support person in Title I. This year, we started a program where we met with children in HASP after school, and I read to them every Thursday since fall. And the purpose was to foster a love of reading and learning through a variety of experiences and quality literature. Some of the things that we touched on were book features, knowing the front and back of the book, knowing print awareness, that these letters make words, words turn into sentences, and sentences carry meaning. We also discussed parts of the book such as beginning, middle, and end. The book that we selected was The Tiny Seed, and what we did as an activity, a follow-up, was to plant seeds for Mother's Day. We hope you enjoy the following video titled Planting the Tiny Seed, based around the book The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. Thank you. Today we're going to read about a little seed, and the seed had a journey to make. A journey is a long trip. And this little seed, he was very tiny. He was a very tiny seed.
Yeah, we read the big book.
Well, I have a big book and I even have a little book. Yeah, and it's by Eric Carle. He's an author that lives very close to us. He lives in Jaffrey, New Hampshire. So, very famous author, Eric Carle. It's called The Tiny Seed. All right, so I'm waiting for you to sit. And I want you to look in this direction. All right. It is autumn. Does anybody know another name for autumn?
No.
Yes, fall. It's when the leaves fall. Are we ready? It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? Look, there's the baby seed. He's the tiniest one of all. Now, we know plants can't move. But what's carrying the seed? The wind. Okay, the wind is. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. What happened to that seed? It got too close to the what?
Sun.
It got too close to the sun. So it has to be just right. But the rest are going, and there's the one that's burning up. It got too hot. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. There he is. The ice never melts and the seed can't grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Okay. So what happened to this seed? Yes?
It got in the snow.
It got in the snow and it was too cold for it to grow, right? Yes.
And then one got in the
Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. There he is. There's that little seed. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It's on the desert. It's hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. There's that little tiny seed. And one of them landed where it was very sandy and hot. The desert's very hot. So is it going to grow there?
No.
No. They have to have just the right conditions. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. But look who came by.
Bird.
A bird, a predator.
I know
Yeah,
what-
a bird comes by and eats one seed.
I know
But the tiny seed is not eaten. It's right here, isn't it, Hunter?
so tiny.
Yeah, it's so small that the bird does not see it. All right, lucky for that tiny seed. Now, it is winter. It is winter. Too cold for seeds to germinate, right? Remember that big word, germinate? After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they're going to sleep in the earth. Just like you boys went to sleep, right? You became dormant. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still. There he is. And the mouse does not see it.
He's super small.
Yeah, it's a super small. Okay. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds. Yes, what, honey?
I know where the little.
You know where the little seed is? Okay. Birds fly by. The sun shines. Rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. Look, they're pushing their way right up through the ground. And yeah, hold on just a minute, Hunter. But you see the roots? They've opened because the conditions were right. They got water and they got sun and they were nice and warm from the soil. Remember the blanket we put on the seeds?
Yeah.
And so the little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. But there's another plant that grew faster. Who was it? This guy, right? What was it?
A weed.
A weed. It was a weed.
Pretend that's a weed.
And it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the other small new plants. And look what happened to it. Do you see it tipping over? Yeah. Yeah. And that little plant dies. It didn't get enough nutrients and soil and water and sun. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. Okay. Oh my goodness, look what happened.
It's a giant.
It's a boy walking along in the grass, and he didn't see the plants, did he? I think he just stepped on it by mistake, don't you think? Yeah.
Stepped on it on
The,
purpose.
not purpose. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along. And oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. Okay? So we have to be careful of plants, don't we? When we're walking. Yes. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor even grows faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. Wow. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, and a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower.
What does?
This hand, he's picking it, isn't he? He's picking it. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend.
That.
I'm glad he picked it to give to a friend, right? And just didn't pick it for the sake of picking it. He wanted to share it and share its beauty.
That was.
So that's fine.
That
That's fine. It's now summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. But look, wow, it grows on and it doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters on it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller, taller than the people, taller than the trees and the houses. And now a flower grows on it.
That's a big flower.
People come from far and near to look at this flower. It's the tallest flower they've ever seen. It's a giant flower.
It's like a giant.
Yes, it's huge.
It's like a giant.
All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They've never seen such a big and beautiful flower. What do you think the birds, bees, and butterflies are going to do?
Eat it.
They're going to come and smell it, and perhaps they'll get some little dust on themselves from the flower, and they'll go and they'll fly and pollinate other flowers. Okay, that's what happens. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. Okay. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and it shakes the flower.
There's a lot of.
Once more, that's right, once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens.
A lot.
Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind.
Those are all.
Does this sound like we've heard this before?
Yeah.
Yes. And look what happens. Look what happens. What will happen next? What will the wind do?
Push some more.
It'll blow more and more. And if I go back to the beginning, maybe all those seeds will fly over the land, right? They might meet the sun. They might meet the mountains. And they might meet the ocean. They might meet the desert. They might meet the bird. They might meet the mouse. They might meet the, yeah, springtime has come and the weeds, right? They might have to deal with the weeds. They might have to watch out for getting stepped on. Watch out for getting picked. Right. And of course he shared it. But then some of them will make it, right? Some of them will become a beautiful flower giant.
I see some flowers.
You saw some other kinds of flowers too. Okay. And so today, listen, I brought that giant flower. That's a huge sunflower. It's called a mammoth. Look at me, Carter.
I know.
It's a mammoth sunflower, and it's got stripes on it, just like zebra stripes. Can you see them right there?
Mr. Butler,
Okay.
can you call the office?
Now,
Butler.
I'm going to divide you into two groups. You're going to fill your cup with soil to the green line, and then you're going to take 2 seeds and plant them gently in the soil. What are you going to do when you take it home tonight? What does it need?
Water.
It needs water and it needs sun until it starts to sprout.